was my Jack Bauer. I mean, he was my eyes and ears. I'd use all of his scouting reports and all of his information. It was a huge help for me.
Here's play one. Embiid dribbles around, draws a double team, kicks to Maxey. Maxey drives it. Defense rotates over. They get Tobias Harris in the corner. All right, let's take a look at it. All right, so anything you do off a catch from a double team has to be a catch and shoot quick, straight line drive, make the play at the rim, or kick to somebody else. So here, when they double team Embiid, he kicks to Maxey. Besides Maxey splitting his feet and traveling, he goes to a straight line drive because Hart gets to his hip and now it drives through. So as Maxey drives, no one steps up in front. So the rotation comes from the corner to try to stop Maxey from going to the basket. All right, if you don't have a floater or pull-up, he sees the second defender coming over. He kicks to Tobias Harris in the corner. He's got a corner three. Brunson's rotating over. He's got the open shot. Or, since Brunson's rotating off, he's got Lowry on the next pass. He kicks it, shot, made from three. In the first play, we had Maxey getting to the basket with really nobody getting in front of him to the last second. Here, almost the same thing happens. As he drives, Hartenstein comes out. All right, OG comes to the hip and tries to stop him, but he just gets all the way to the rim with nobody rotating over. So as he's coming off that screen, OG goes under. Hartenstein, wants to stay connected with Embiid. He figures OG probably has him. Well, OG gets to the hip. Nobody rotates to get in front, and then he gets to the rim. As a ball handler, as a guard, you got to be aggressive getting to the rim. All right, on pick and rolls, on handoffs, anything. All right, if no one's in front of you, you just got to keep on going. Now, someone rotates up, they could kick to the corner like he did on that last play. But here, just nobody gets in front. All right, just miscommunication of the defense, and allows Maxey to get all the way to the rim. Any efficient offensive player has to find other ways to score besides getting plays called to you. On this play, Brunson gets it from the post entry from Hartenstein. Brunson sets his man up and just cuts to the rim. Cutting's a huge part of the game. Huge part of the game, because when you finish at the rim at 67 to 70%, that's one of the most valuable shots in basketball. And if you could find ways to score without having plays called, like I just said, it'll just make the game that much easier. Watch how Brunson just sort of nonchalantly walks and then changes speed on the cut to get to the rim. Remember, he doesn't have to work as hard now because he doesn't have the ball in his hand. He just finds easier ways to get to the basket, but it's the setup that gets him there, as he just goes slow to fast and then lays it in at the rim. This is where Embiid's just most dominant. Just on that left block, facing up, jabbing off his man, and then just shooting the jump shot. He's dominating in the post on anything that he does, back downs, face ups, spins, but this is really where he can do some real damage. Now, the teaching points here, as he faces up, watch that ball on his left hip. The ball's protected in his left hip. Hartenstein has to protect it. All right, he has to protect the rim, and he has to just play solid here. If he tries to, jam his right foot up, that ball's in his left side of his body, he could just drive left. If he overplays the ball with a live foot's to right, and he could just drive it, which we'll watch him in further clips, which he does. But here, he has to play him solid. Embiid faces up, left hip, jabs. See how Hartenstein comes off of him off that jab a little bit, creates that space that he needs. Ball's in his left hip, just raises up and shoots a jump shot. Let's take a look at some good defense on Brunson from Maxey. As the handoff comes, Maxey gets to the hip, active hands, and they come up with the steal. Now just watch how when he's coming off, his arms are down. All right, if you have your arms down and then that offensive player just rises up, there's going to be a lot of foul calls. You have to be able to defend without fouling, and a lot of has to do with the angle you take and you force that offensive player into, as well as your active hands. Watch as Brunson gets the handoff. Watch Maxey's left arm getting the ball in, getting that arm in that passing lane and making it tough on Brunson. And then Brunson ends up just, coughing the ball up. But it all starts with active hands, hand in the passing lane, getting to the hip, staying connected, and then just tracing that ball from with that arm and hand without fouling and swiping down. Great defense from Maxey. They come up with the turnover. Embiid's an amazing physical talent and an offensive juggernaut. On this play, he catches the ball, faces up on that left block. All right, drives right, uses his body, and then finishes in the paint. Obviously, the finish is ridiculous, but let's talk about just the, sort of the teaching points on the offensive and defensive end. First of all, same thing on that left, that left side. Ball's on the left side of his, side of his hip. Right foot's free. All right. Problem Robinson makes here is defensively, you want to cut off at least one side of the floor or one direction from Embiid. Here he doesn't. Because of his stance and his positioning, Embiid could drive to his right, can drive to his left, and still be pretty comfortable doing either one. Here, Robinson needs to be a little bit more up and sort of getting in front of Embiid so he can't drive right or cut off the left, but he doesn't do that. He gives him too much of an angle going right, and you just got to be able to take one thing away from an offensive player. He does it in this situation where now Embiid, again, protecting the ball on his left hip. He sees that right side driving angle's open. He takes it, drives it, makes contact, and finishes in the paint. All right, here they're going to put that second defender on Brunson on the pick and roll here. He comes off the pick and roll, all right, snakes it, and then makes the play to Deuce McBride. So let's just take a look at it. So again, defensively, whenever you try to take something away from an offensive player, you open yourself up for something else. So here they put Lowry sort of in instead of being, in on the help, all right, so he could help up on Brunson. Now Robinson, when Brunson comes off the pick and roll, is going to roll it. So what happens here is he comes off, Batum's on his hip, all right, Embiid's just sort of playing, not only giving help on Brunson, but has to back up because he can't get Robinson behind him or that's going to be a lob. Hart sees this and makes that cut because Lowry's in. As he makes that cut, Buddy Hield has to leave his man and bump the roller, opening up Deuce McBride for the catch and shoot from the wing. All right, let's take another look at it. Again, Brunson comes off. Embiid tries to help. Lowry helps off his man. The cut comes. All right, Hield has to come off his man. McBride's open for the right wing three. All right, here we have Deuce McBride on the trail three from the right wing. All right, much improved three-point shooter. McBride shot 29% last year, now shooting 41%. That's a shot that has to be taught. It's a huge improvement from him, but it's a shot that has to be taught at all levels. You have to be able to shoot on the spot, just catch and shoot, as well as shooting on the move. Here he gets his feet under him. All right, just a very consistent shot, very much improved from this year. All right, here they're going to foul Miles McBride. Buddy Hield's going to foul him on the swipe down. So just watch it. All right, whenever you defend the ball, look, in my opinion, you got to get to a hip. You got to force one direction. I always want to, in my opinion, on the wing, you want to force them baseline. I don't want to go weak hand until it's probably up top. But here, get to the hip, and you got to show the referee your hands. Any sudden movement, any swipe down, or an aggressive play, you got to be able to get all ball. And a lot of times, the referee's not going to see it, and they're just going to make a call based on something being hard and thinking that they're going to be a foul, the perception of it. Here, Buddy Hield just swipes down, and even if you get ball, all right, a lot of times they're going to call that foul. So you got to show hands, bring him into the help, and force him into a tough shot. Here, he swipes down, right on that wrist, and it's a foul call. All right, here we have another foul call. Bogdanovich in the post, swipe down. All right, couple of culprits here. Let's take a look at it. Now, what you got to teach your post players or your wing players, your perimeter players that play in the post defensively, is you could put that arm bar on that back, right? But you got to be able to transition from that into having hands up right away to contest a shot when they turn. All right, so here, Maxey, we see it, hit him on the back on that right arm. That you got to have arms off. You got to be able to limit your contact, especially when they're going up for the shot. Coming off the ball with Lowry, all right, he swipes down as that ball comes up, swiping that arm. So again, you got to have some type of restraint when you're doing that, unless you're going to get beat and you have to foul. But here, you got to be able to transition from contesting that shot off the ball. You got to have your arms up. That's why I don't like arms by your sides, because now it just sort of entices you to do some stuff like this, where now it's just an easy call from the referee, because again, swipe down, he's going up, you're swiping down, pretty easy foul call. All right, here we're going to have great ball movement from Philly. Just passing the ball, and hitting Maxey, for that corner three on the left side. All right, let's take a look at it. Of course, Embiid's going to face double teams on and off the ball, from all different angles. And he's got to be able to pass that ball out, being that elite player that he is. He has to be able to, play off that double team and just hit the open player. Here, as the double comes from behind, all right, Batum now makes the cut, forcing the corner defender having to make a decision. All right, Bogdanović has to make the decision. Do I stay with my man and allow him to have a straight line drive, on a cut? Of course not. So he's going to rotate off his man and to try to get in front of Batum. Now Batum could try to finish at the rim against Bogdanović, not the best defender in the league, of course. So now as he's got he has to take that shot, which will probably be a 50-50 shot, maybe a little less, trying to finish at the rim, especially he's got a weak side defender coming over as well. Here he just spots Maxey for the three-point shot. Maxey shooting 37% from the three, but shooting 54% from that spot. So it's just great ball movement, just identifying that I don't have an open shot. I got to move, and I got to make a play for somebody else. So again, playing off the double team, making the cut, catching, and then just opening up for the, for a teammate for the three-point shot. All right, here we're going to take a look at a foul on Maxey from Brunson's shot. All right, let's take a look at it. Biggest thing you can do here against any type of player, especially a really good one like Brunson, is you got to get to a hip, you got to force him into the help, and you just have to force him into a tough contested shot. All right, here he's not going to get to the rim. You got a defender in front. All right, you got the help in front. You got Paul Reed that's going to stop the drive. All right, you've got Maxey on his hip. All Maxey has to do is ride this thing out. Helps here. If he's going to shoot the ball, you have a rear view challenge. But instead, he leaves his feet. Cardinal sin. Stay on your feet, keep your balance, and just rear view challenge and contest every shot. Here, he just gets a little bit too, block happy on this. And all Brunson does is use his fake. He loses his balance. He's lunging into Brunson, and now he draws the foul and allows almost a three-point play if that ball went in. You got to keep your balance, stay to the hip, have the help in front, and just rear view challenge the shot and stay on the ground. Leaving your feet, too many fouls, too many times they could drive under you or get a shot off. Just stay on the ground and contest the shot. Deuce McBride, trail three up top. We talked about much improved shooting, but again, it's a shot that has to be learned from players at that perimeter, any perimeter position when you're playing off the ball. Got to be able to shoot on the catch, and you have to be able to shoot on the move. Here he just gets his feet under him, gets the shot off, hits the three. All right, here Max is going to reject the handoff, drive to his left, kick to Embiid. He's going to kick to Harris and then kick to Lowry for that right corner three. Let's take a look. Again, great ball movement by Philly. All right, great decision making. OG's going to just sort of jump that screen. All right, that handoff screen opportunity. So Maxey's going to just go and reject it. He's going to draw two. All right, Hartenstein, and OG. So now he just makes the play to Embiid. The rotation comes from the weak side. So as that happens, he kicks to Harris. Harris could shoot that three in the corner. Hart comes up, leaving Lowry wide open in the corner. 39% three-point shooter, contested by Brunson. But again, just great ball movement, spotting the open player, just making good reads. All right, they jump him on the screen, draws two, kick, ball movement. And that's how Philly could score besides the Embiid post-ups and isolations, by just moving the ball and getting open looks. All right, here we have Brunson coming off the handoff, coming against the grain. All right, going to sidestep that three going to his right. All right, let's take a look at it. So as he's coming off that handoff, all right, Oubre's going to go under the screen. Brunson just catches it, gets his inside foot like he's coming off a pin down. All right, fakes it. And again, has the hop. Now, he doesn't even need the hop here. He can just come, right here and just go footwork-wise, go left-right because he's going right. All right, but he decides to use that just at the hop off 2 feet, but making the great read. His man goes under. He could have shot it, but he wants to clear more space with the sidestep three-point shot. All right, Kelly Oubre travel in the left corner. This happens a ton of times, so just watch his feet. We'll come back to it. All right, as a lefty, You have to drive off that left foot. Back foot has to be down. Righty would be just the opposite. Left foot has to be down, driving off the right. Oubre's a lefty, does everything with his left foot from the perimeter. Watch his right foot there. All right, slides it back. You got to be able to keep that other foot down. I'm telling you, there's a ton of players that travel and split their feet on the catch and go. You got to be able to put one foot down and drive off that other foot and be able to put the ball down and then move that other foot. All right, easy travel call. All right, a little sloppy, but good movement. All right, aggressive drive by Maxey here to the basket. All right, coming off the handoff on the reject, straight line drive, and then great finish getting to the rim. Again, great finishers at the NBA level could finish at around 70% at the rim. All right, so let's just take a look at the play. All right, so here it's pick and roll. All right, he draws two. All right, he kicks to Embiid, spaces. Now Embiid doesn't have a shot, so now he just comes handoff with Maxey. Maxey's going to get it, try to attack to his right, but now they're going to jump that screen. All right, so he's going to reject it, loses the ball a little bit, but then straight line drives. All right. Now the other read as well is now as he beats his man, as he beats Hart, all right, the help defender comes here. He also has plays to the weak side. But here he makes the great finish, getting to his right. All right, here we have a handoff. Going to draw multiple defenders. Maxey's going to kick to Kyle Lowry for the three-point shot. Let's take a look. All right, coming off this handoff, of course, you want to be able to attack to get to the basket or shoot the three if they go under. Here they're going to pack it. All right, they're going to fight it over. You have the OG defending at the nail. So now it's either you can drive it and try to attack Hartenstein. All right, you can try, if Hartenstein steps up, you can go to Embiid. Right now, Embiid's not going to hard roll it. So now as he comes over, OG's going to leave the nail and get in front, opening up Lowry for that three-point shot. Again, it's just a read. All right, if you're trying to attack on one thing, if they try to take that away, you do something else. So again, handoff. All right, try to go to Embiid. Embiid just going to hold his screen. The second defender comes over and just makes the simple read for the catch and shoot. All right, here they hit Embiid on the trail. All right, reverses to Maxey. Maxey comes off that slot pick and roll, rejects it, uses the Euro for the finish. All right, let's take a look. So again, playing that two-man game. Once they hit Embiid on the trail and they go to Maxey, Maxey could try to straight line drive it. He could try to shoot. That doesn't happen. They set the screen to that left slot. Again, they jump up. All right, he rejects the screen, drives it, now attacks that second defender. Second defender comes over, uses the Euro, steps around him, and finishes on the right side. Remember, you got to be able to finish at the rim at least at 65%. You have to become a great finisher. It doesn't matter if the right, the left, floater, Euros, whatever you have it, you have to be able to be a high-end finisher. It's sort of like being in the red zone of football. You got to be able to convert. All right, here we have great defense by Kelly Oubre. Just great active hands making the steal. All right, let's just take a look at it. As your man has the ball, you have to have active hands. Get him off your sides. All right, hands in passing lanes, hands in, disrupting vision, disrupting rhythm. Just see how those arms are moving, those hands are moving. They're off in sides, and now it just becomes a threat to be able to get that deflection on the ball. Great defense by Oubre. Great activity. Those just shadow the ball and try to get a deflection. Deflection's more valuable than steals because defenders that try to hunt deflections usually foul a lot less than players that are trying to hunt steals. A simple read to Embiid here, coming off the pick and roll. Maxey draws two, kicks to Embiid for the three-point shot. Simple read here, again coming off mid pick and roll. All right, as he draws two, just makes the play. So now Brunson here could leave his man and try to rotate up on the catch, but Hartenstein comes back up. Brunson stays on his. Embiid shoots the three for the make. Here's an easy read from Brunson on the step-up pick and roll. Hits DiVincenzo for the three-point shot. All right, let's take a look. All right, so Hartenstein sets up the step-up pretty deep on the left side. As he comes off, Maxey fights through. Oubre's going to leave DiVincenzo. All right, just to try to stop Brunson as he draws two. Hartenstein's sort of out of the play. So now you got Kyle Lowry covering two. You got Hart and DiVincenzo in the right, on the right side of the floor. He takes that extra dribble. All right, makes the two-handed pass. Now DiVincenzo has the shot, but he also has Hart in the corner. He decides to make the shot from the right side. All right, you have a driving kick here from Kyle Lowry to Kelly Oubre. All right, let's take a look at it. All right, from the reverse from Embiid. All Lowry does now is use the fake. Again, as a defender, you got to stay on the ground. I just like to stop short, contest. This way, it's a contested three. You stay on the ground. If he wants to drive it, you could still guard it. If if you don't leave your feet, he can't. On that fake, and you do leave your feet, he can't drive under you. So here, Lowry uses a fake. DiVincenzo goes for it. He drives. You use that one dribble. Brunson has to leave because DiVincenzo now sort of out of position a little bit on that hip. Brunson steps over to stop the drive. He kicks to Oubre for the three-point shot on the left break. All right, Brunson in transition spots Bogdanovic on the driving kick for three. Again, we talked about it a million times in this video about the importance of being able to shoot the ball on the move, on trails. Doesn't matter what position you are. So on the cross match, Philly's got to match up the best they can. You got Batum on Brunson. All right, Brunson's going to drive it. Paul Reed's the closest guy to Bogdanovic, but he's going to try to help on Brunson. He's in the paint, which opens up this space for Bogdanovic, who's a knockdown shooter, gets his feet set, three-point shot. All right, here we have Tobias Harris getting all the way to the rim on the handoff. All right, let's take a look at it. We talked about the importance of being a great finisher and be able to finish north of 60% at the rim. It's a very valuable shot that you have to be really good at. At the handoff here, all right, New York's going to go under. Hart's going to go under. Robinson's going to let him through. The problem here is nobody gets in front. Hart gets to the hip. This has happened a few times on the defensive coverages where they're getting on the hip of a driver instead of getting in front. Somebody's got to rotate up, usually coming from the nail, but you got Buddy Hield here who's a knockdown shooter. Lowry can shoot. Oubre can shoot. So they got to try to stick to their man and try to just sort of have these guys figure it out here. The problem is nobody gets in front. Nobody rotates up. All right, and Tobias Harris gets all the way to the rim. It's great to drive and kick, especially if a weak side defender comes over, but it doesn't happen here. All right, so on the read here, all right, if he did drive and Bogdanovic was the guy stepping up, he would have a driving kick to Oubre. And if they rotated off, Lowry to get him, they just have to be able to move the ball, for an open shooter. But again, Philadelphia sort of taking advantage of of New York not really being able to get in front. I think that Philly has to be able to do sets like these versus just give it an Embiid and just clearing out all the time. You have to figure out other ways to generate points, and I feel as though by driving and kicking and moving the ball and doing things like handing off to drives all the way to the rim is a great way to go. Deuce McBride, screen and roll in transition. All right, going to pull up for three. Tough shot, but again, 41%. And it's a guard. If you're a 1 or you're a 2, being able to shoot the ball off the dribble from 3 is something that you definitely have to work on. Here in the coverage, Oubre's going to go through the screen. All right, Robinson gets him dead square, so now he gets a hit. Embiid can't play up because if he plays up, McBride then can try to split it and go to the basket. So Embiid's going to play a little bit in a drop here. Problem is, on a drop, if you get a good hit on your screen, it's going to open up an open shot. So now, you got to pick your poison. You play up and, try to have him split and get to the basket, or do you play back and then just, sort of take the chance that he's going to make, not make the three, and then Oubre could either get through the screen or rear view challenge it. McBride just takes advantage of it. All right, screens hit. Basically a marginally contested three-point shot. All right, really good defense here by Mitchell Robinson on Embiid. All right, good hands and contest the shot. Let's take a look. I think the biggest thing you can do as a post defender is really transition from armbar, all right, a little bit of a reach there, but armbar to when he faces, being able to just have hands up right away so you're not fouling and he doesn't go under you. So here Embiid tries to back him down and go to that turnaround jump shot. You see how he transitions from armbar, all right, to contest when he goes over that left shoulder. And that's the best way you can try to defend without fouling using post defense. A lot of guys like to just stay down and keep that arm on the body, and he turns around, and a lot of times they lunge or they swipe or they foul. Here, he goes from arm bar, all right, to hand right up, and now he's got to shoot over that contested hand without fouling. That's the definition of defending without fouling in the post. All right, here we have Brunson on the pick and roll, rejects it, goes to his right, pull-up jump shot. Let's take a look. Especially on the catches, right? When you have your live foot, you're not putting the ball on the floor yet, and that screen's being set. All right, using that jab and then driving is a great way to sort of get that defender to lean in one direction. Kobe always called it just capitalizing on the lack of balance of your defender. So watch how he sides that foot a little bit but doesn't travel, keeps that left foot free, jabs. Maxey just sort of shifts to his right, opening up this whole righty drive for Brunson. All right, so watch Batum. Batum thinks everything's going to the left side of the floor as well. He lunges a little bit left. All right, so now Brunson just makes the drive, clear space. No one's really rotating up, because if they rotate up, they got an open three-point shot in the corner. All right, so the corner defender stays with his, and Brunson now has a dribble pull-up at the elbow. All right, here we have Embiid going to drive it. Robinson's going to draw the foul. Well, Embiid's going to draw the foul on Robinson. So let's take a look. All right, so Maxey's coming off that screen and roll. All right, McBride gets clipped a little bit. Robinson's going to stay in front of Maxey. Maxey's going to step back to take McBride out of the play. He goes to Embiid, and now the drive. So Robinson's got to keep his hand straight. This way he can chest him up. Maybe he'll get a contact foul. But what happens here is that those arms going down, if I'm an offensive player and I see arms down, I'm swiping up to try to get a foul call. It's an easy call from the referee in a sense, because of the fact that Robinson's arms are down. If he keeps his arms like this and he just drives and takes the hit, and he'll probably get the call because it's Embiid. But again, just good technique. You got to chest him up. You got to show hands. All right. But once you swipe those arms down, it's anybody's ball game. Probably 80% chance that those referees making the call. As a defender on the ball, as a big or any position really, you got to show the referee your hands. You got to have them up, because once you swipe down, the offensive player is going to take advantage of that. Big time shot from Josh Hart here. Here he just jabs right, drives left, three-point shot. That is a big-time make. Probably could have been a 4-point play, but watch the footwork. All right, left foot's down, right foot jab. See how Embiid gets out of his stance? Got to stay in your stance. All right, as he gets out of the stance here, drives left. Now he's a big hop guy going left. All he should have had to do is go long step right, small step left, and just pull up. But again, he jabs, keeps that left foot down, no travel. All right, Lowry, instead of contesting the shot, swipes down and try to get the steal. I get it, it's pretty close. Ball game.